Hi everybody. I'm sorry. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh, it's cold out here. Ooh, it's chilly and chill in the air, honey. Yes, it is chilly. It's just chill in the air. Uh, how was everyone's day? Happy weekend to everybody. Doesn't really mean much to me, but doesn't really mean much to me. I am working until is tomorrow my Friday? Yeah. I work tomorrow and then I'm done. Then I'm off for my 2 days off, but I had a good day at work today, you guys. Can't complain. I had a pretty decent day. How was y'all day at work today or school, whatever you did? Let me know in the comments. Hello. If you guys are new here, say hello. Come in and say hi. Let me know where you guys are watching me from. I appreciate you coming back by. It's cold out here, honey. It's cold out here, honey. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Uh, So go back to the shelter, y'all. I had I told you guys in a video earlier today that they had moved my room from the shelter. I was in the room with the mommies. Now I'm not in the room with the mommies anymore. So now I'm in the room with the single women. So now I didn't really want to move, to be honest, because I kind of got used to the mommies. So now I have to get used to another room. And I really don't like that they moved me like that. Not too happy about it, but I guess it's going to be better than sleeping in a room with the kids, because those kids do get up screaming at like 5 something in the morning. So I don't know what the experience is going to be with me with these women, like sleeping in a room with them. Every time you get moved somewhere else different in the shelter, you're going to be around different people. So now I have to like get used to these different people. It's like I think it's 4 different women in there or something like that. I don't know, but I have to get used to new people again. And I don't like change. I don't like having to, get used to a different person, especially a stranger. So, like I said, I'll be out in the morning. I do go to work tomorrow afternoon, so I'll probably do a live stream around like, I don't know, 9 or 10 or something like that. Check up with y'all, see how everybody's doing, let y'all know how my first night in my new room went down. That's it, really. Nothing much going on. Nothing much happening, y'all. Just out here living life. I'm tired. Living life to the fullest, honey. Living life to the fullest, honey. So if you guys do not know, I live in a homeless shelter, and this is my second homeless shelter that I've been living in the last 3 months. I've been in a homeless shelter altogether for now about almost 3 months. So the other homeless shelter I was in, they kicked me out because I took a picture of a dope addict, a dope fiend. This chick was in the room when I was sleeping. I wake up in the middle of the night and this chick is fiended out, and she's like, she's she's zombied out in the middle of the floor in the room where a whole bunch of women are trying to go to sleep and everything. And that's a weird situation to wake up to at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to see a lady slumped over. Very scary situation, but I've seen this before. A lot of times on like videos when you watch the Kensington and all that stuff. You see people like that all the time, but when you're in the shelter, you don't really want to see that. I'm just thinking this lady should be in a rehab somewhere instead of being in the shelter. Like the shelter is really taking advantage of her illness, her sickness, her addiction, because the shelter should be recommending or sending her right to a rehab like ASAP. But I don't control that, so they kicked me out. They kicked me out because I took a picture of it, because I wanted them to see like what was going on in the room. You have a woman in there that could fall and bust her head open, or just anything can happen. To me, I think having somebody that has a drug addiction inside a regular shelter That's a liability. And most companies and businesses don't like liabilities. They don't want nobody that's a liability in their company. You know, they don't want no liabilities. Liabilities, they try to get rid of people that's going to be liable, you know, cause problems, cause your insurance to go higher, or even cause like a lawsuit. So I don't like that. But I took a picture of it, and I ended up getting kicked out because of that. So people were dragging me in the comments like, you should have never been doing that and whatever. Well, she should have never been in the shelter doing what she's doing. She needs to be in rehab. I wasn't taking a picture like making fun of the woman. I was just taking a picture so that y'all can see what was going on in the middle of the night when your staff members at the shelter are supposed to be like doing room checks and making sure that, you know, we're doing what we got to do as women and not doing stuff that we shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? But who am I? I'm nobody. Who am I to say you love me? But how's your night going, guys? What is going on? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below. I should just take this. I don't know how you guys can reply back. Hello, how are you? What is going on, Shamira? I think you did nothing wrong. You think I did nothing wrong? Yeah, they think I did something wrong. So I really think the shelter wanted me out because they wasn't making no money off of me because I have a job. So I think they make more money off of people that are on welfare and people that are on like disability and people that's on Social Security. I think they make more money off of those women, and I don't think they make any money off of me being there. I don't think they make money off of me being there because I have my own income. So they're not making nothing off of me. So I guess when they found the opportunity to try to get me out, that's what they did. Because even when I was trying to get into that shelter, I knew the lady and I thought she was cool, right? I knew the lady that did my intake. I knew her from the past. So she was cool. Her name was April. I thought she was cool peoples. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think she was my friend, but I thought she was cool. You know what I'm saying? That she would, you know, have my back in a couple little things. You know, instead of kicking me out, I thought she would say, don't do that again. Like, don't take no pictures of the girls no more. We could let that slide this time, but, you know, just don't do that again. That's what I thought she was going to say to me. But she ended up kicking me out, and I was very shocked at that. I was like, wow, this is what people are talking about. I said, don't ever think that when you go into a shelter or just anywhere that you have a friend or not even, I didn't even look at her as a friend. I just thought she was cool and I respected her a lot. But for her to come and kick me out like that, she could have just said, you know, pull me by the coattails and say, listen, sis, don't take pictures of nobody no more. Don't do that again. And that would have been that. But hey, guess what? I'm in a better place. And it's closer to my job. And that's it. And I could, you know, I have more freedom in the shelter that I'm in now because I could sleep all day if I want to. And I'm not a sleep all day type of person. But on my days off, I could sleep in until 12 o'clock. I don't have to jump up out of bed and be out the shelter by 5 a.m. Like, I feel like I'm in a better place. But the only thing I did like about the other shelter was um, it was a little bit cleaner, I believe. It was cleaner. But I wasn't around mommies in there either. Like, it was just women. And the only thing I didn't like about the other shelter was there was too many women in one area. Like, it was one big room and it had like beds enough for to sleep 20 women. I think it was enough in that room to sleep 20 women. And I think that they had too many people jammed in one room. Because I know legally, like the fire department, like you ever go into a place like a Wawa or something or a Walmart and they say the occupancy is meaning that there's only like a certain amount of people that's allowed in this space. Like if you have somebody that you know, a club owner, a person that may run a club, right? They can only have a certain amount of people in that club during those hours. If you go over occupancy and there's a fire or something happens, everybody's not going to get out safely because there's too many people in here. So you can get fined from like the fire department for doing that. And that shelter be doing a lot of stuff that they're not really supposed to be doing. But who am I? Like, I don't have, like, I could try to get back and try to make reviews and cry about it, but I'm over it. You know, I'm over that. I'm over that. I'm in a better place. Even though the new shelter that I'm in now, it's a little on the ratchet side. You know what I mean? It's a little ratchet. But the other shelter was ratchet too. I'm not going to front. It is what it is until I'm able to get housing or something somewhere. So nothing I can really do. But keep moving and keep my head up, honey. That's all I can really do. Keep moving and keep my freaking head up. Keep my head to the sky. Keep your 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 head to the... I haven't been in my storage in a couple of days. I haven't been over there in a couple of days. I gotta also figure out when I'm going to be able to, and I think it's going to be sometime in December where I'm going to get a day, probably take some extra days off of work that I can be able to rent a hotel and go and start doing my soaps again, girl. Because I could do it in a family member's house, but I don't want to make soap in family member's house because I don't want them to be looking over my shoulder like, you know what I mean? Like, uh, you know, they'll be like, well, people invite you in. Like, they invited me in their house, like, when I stayed with my niece and stuff like that. People invited me in. But after I've been there for like a week, I remember my niece used to start giving me attitude. She would come in from work and not speak to me, like, just be real short with me. And it's so funny because the job that I have now, my niece works there too. I don't see her, but I do have to talk to her and like communicate with her over the phone. So I don't have no ill will, but I don't care if I don't ever see her again for the rest of my days on this earth. I don't care if I ever see her again. That's how bad that's how bad she hurt me, I said, I don't care if I ever see you again in life, honey. I really don't care. But she does work at my job, but she works in a different department, so I do have to deal with her. Like today I talked to her and she just sound like, in the beginning when she kicked me out, if you could feel it was a little bit like animosity over the phone, like with me and her. But now it's like a normal day. She talks really nice to me and I talk nice to her because we're at work. But girl, the stuff that you did to me, the way you threw me under the bus, honey, I don't care if I ever see you. And I told her, I said, I don't care if I don't ever see you again in life. That's like your sister throwing you under the bus. My niece was like my sister. It's like your sister or your brother that you had so much respect for, like they betrayed you. And then you'd be like, yo, I can't believe you did this to me. I'm your niece. I am your auntie. Like, I can't believe you did this to me. But things like this is written in the Bible, honey. It's written in the Bible that people are going to become lovers of themselves, and family will turn against the son, will turn against the son, the mother will turn against the mother. Yes, honey. It is written. It is written. It is written. Then one of my girlfriends called me. She live in I think she live in Ohio, right? So she was calling me today talking about her son was being disrespectful to her, and he's 18. I said, girl, he been out my house. Girl, he'd have been out my house. So she showed me all this stuff that her son had the son broke up a lot of stuff in her house. She got a beautiful home. But I said, girl, you gotta let him go. He's 18. Here she go, already pumping the brakes. Like she was like, I said, well, you gotta call the cops on him, and if you want him out your house, you gotta get a restraining order. And when you get a restraining order, you have to deal with the police when you get one of those. So I said, nobody wants to call the cops on their son, right? But if these kids are being irate, you need to get them out of your house. Period. So she's like, oh no, I don't want to call the cops on him because it's gonna mess up his future. I said, well, he ain't thinking about you. He's in the house breaking up and tearing up your house, breaking stuff. And I said, you have to let go of that. You have to stop babying him up and let him jump out the nest, honey. Not even jump out the nest. You got to push him out that nest. Your son is disrespecting you. You are added to the problem because you're still sitting there. Oh, I don't want to call the police on him because I don't want him to ruin his career. You're so busy worrying about his career, but he ain't worrying about your career. He's not worrying about you. Son or no son. If they're not worrying about me, I'm not worrying about you. Son, daughter, whoever. But she called me today at work and she's like literally on the other line crying. And I'm like, sis, I'm at work right now. I really can't talk, but I try to help her and comfort her as much as I could. But I be like, sis, the same thing you be saying to me with certain things. You have to abide by the same rules, the same encouragement that you show me. You have to abide by the same thing. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. Absolutely. That's sad. How you doing, Samira? How's everybody tonight? Thank you for the hearts. I see them coming in, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. exhausted. I am. I love me some good natural soap. Yeah, I'm gonna be making soap soon, y'all. Y'all gonna see it. I'm gonna have to probably rent a hotel for like a day or two and start making my soap again. I can't do it in the shelter, of course, but I have my material and everything in my storage, and that's the only reason why I moved my storage because, of course, the storage was cheaper. But um, I got to get in there eventually and just everything is pretty much organized. Like my personal belongings is on one side, and then I have my soap, my stuff for my business on the other side. So I just got to go in there and I go into my storage. If I'm not looking for something, I go in there and just sweep it out, clean it out, like wipe it down. I take the duster and dust because in the storages collect a lot of dirt from outside. You know what I'm saying? Like when the wind is blowing all that dust and dirt up into your storage, and I go back to my storage and it's a whole bunch of dirt and stuff all over my stuff. So I try to keep it clean. I try. I had a good day at work. I'm just tired. I'm tired, y'all. I ain't gonna front. I'm tired. I've had enough. Tomorrow is my Friday. Thank God, because I'm off Sunday and Monday. And y'all know Sundays I go back to church, honey. I go back to church. Hey boo, I've been praying for you. Thank you for praying for me. God will be done. Hallelujah. Because they get more money when you eat there. They can ask for bigger money for those. Yeah, the grants, okay, but the extras, but they make money by giving you a bed. Yeah, I still don't know why she kicked me out, but she wasn't being so nice to me. I know I took a picture, but damn, you still could have let me stay. You could have just told me, like, you could have pulled me by the coattails. Thank you for the hearts. I see them coming in. You could have pulled me by the coattails, like, sis, look, slap me on my wrist. Don't do that again. You ain't supposed to be taking pictures. Do you mind me asking what kind of work do you do? I work in customer care. We do like financing and stuff for big orders. So I just take the money. We do any kind of financial transactions, and I file all the paperwork for a particular business. So, your storage will get really dusty. Heart energy with me. I appreciate the hearts, guys. Thank you. You're trustworthy. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna rob the place. Um, yeah, I guess you would have to be because some people I work around a lot of money. I take in a lot of money. We do financing and we go to the bank. We do all that stuff. So I'm basically like what do you call those people that control the money? Like people that do payroll. I'm basically like an underpaid accountant. Yeah, that's what I am. I'm an underpaid accountant, basically. We look at the numbers and make sure all the numbers add up. The taxes and sometimes they have to put deposits on certain things, and depending on what state the customer is buying things in, we have to make sure the state ID, like the tax ID stuff, is right. And we have customer businesses, like some of these people, like a lot of them are running businesses. We have to make sure like the tax stuff is right on the paperwork. Because when you go buy a car, or I'm not even going to use a house because I never bought a house before, but even when you buy a car, it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of things you have to sign. So yeah. But actually, I really like my job. I do. I like it. And it's so funny because I got into this field due to my situation. The situation that I found myself in when I lost my apartment and everything. I I had to leave the job that I had, and I had to go into what I'm in now. I'm trying to figure out what's that noise. I'm hearing something that sounds like it's so weird. Maybe it's why does it sound like I hear something jiggling back there? It's so freaking weird. I had to look in the back of my car, baby. It sounded like I heard something jiggling back there. What is that noise? What is that noise? Maybe it's coming from my keys. Like I don't know what that noise is. But I'm exhausted like I am every other night, y'all. But I'm gonna cut this off at when I get to 30 minutes tonight because I have to go do something. I have to call one of my girlfriends because she's going through a traumatic time, and I have to kind of be there to talk to her. Girl, get from there. Get from over there. Get from over where? I hear you too. Y'all hear that jiggling? It sounded like something was jiggling. I said, yo, is there somebody in my back seat? Is there somebody in my back seat? Y'all gotta be making sure we safe out here, honey. I hear something shaking in my car. It's probably this since this is open. I don't know, y'all. I think I have a killer in the back seat. Maybe Michael Myers is back there. What do y'all think? Somebody trying to off me or something? What do y'all think? I mean, if somebody jump on me in the car while I'm driving, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna press on the brakes, right? Ain't you supposed to press on the gas and go really, really fast and then stop? Then that person that's trying to choke me out, they gonna go right through the windshield. Ain't that how it was supposed to work? Yeah. That person's going to unhand me because I'm going to go 100 miles an hour. And then when I put on the brakes, I'm going to duck down so the person can fly through the windshield. Ain't that how we supposed to? Isn't that how we supposed to defend ourselves? Isn't that how we supposed to defend ourselves? No, girl, don't say that. Get from the noise. Tyra, how are you? Thank you guys for all the hearts. I see them coming in. But I'm going to go when it gets to 30 minutes because I have to call a friend of mine because she kind of needs my help tonight. She's going through the stuff with her son, and I'm trying to help her. You know, I go through stuff and I call her, and she's helpful to me. So I got to return the favor. When I have a friend, someone that I say is my friend, a friend relationship is just like any relationship that you would have with your spouse, with your, of course, it's not going to be no intimacy because we're friends, right? But I gotta be there for her because she's there for me when I need something, but sometimes I can't talk to her. So today she called me. She was in tears. She was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe my son did this to me." So I try to be a friend to her and be there for her when when she calls me, because I know how it feels I know what she's going through, and I know how it feels to be. A friendship is a two-way street. A friendship can't be one friend is constantly calling and checking in, and it has to be a two-way type of ordeal. Just like a family, like a sister or a brother, it has to be a give and take, a push and a tug, or whatever, baby. I can't be the only one trying to reach out, hang out with you, say hi, how you doing, I miss you, you're my bestie. Yeah, it's a two-way street. That's how a friendship works. Hi, Diane. How you doing, Miss Brown? How you doing? I'm just saying, if there was a killer in my back seat, that's what I would do to save my life, right? I would press on the gas really fast and try to go like 100 miles an hour. Then if the person is trying to strangle me from the back seat, that's what I would do. I would put on the gas, and then I would press on the brakes, and then I would duck down. I'm probably gonna be messed up too in this accident. But I'm just saying, if somebody was hiding in your back seat, they had a video where a lady was like, if somebody's in your backseat and they try to strangle you, there's a way that you can get out. So the lady was like pushing her seat back, like going like that, like pushing her seat back. I don't know what she was doing. I forget, but it was funny. They said if someone takes you by like if somebody put their arm around you and they have their arm around your neck and they're in your back seat, how to fight them off, how to fight someone off when they're in your back seat. But I'm gonna go, guys. I will talk to y'all tomorrow morning, catching up on some sleep, listening to some Audible. Okay, Audible books. Any good books that you can recommend, Diane, that you listening to Audible? Anything that's good, relaxing, nice. While I pray, nothing like that ever happened. I know I'm just trying to be funny. I like to put in a little humor sometimes. But I'm gonna go, guys. I got to my 30-minute mark. I normally stay on for an hour, but I gotta call one of my girlfriends because she's kind of having a rough time. So I'm gonna call her because I'm gonna get back to the shelter. Thank you guys for all the hearts. I will be on here tomorrow morning between 7 a.m. and probably 9 or 10. I'm going to go to the gym. I didn't go to the gym today, but I will be back at the gym tomorrow. I didn't get to the gym today because I went to the laundromat to wash my clothes, so all my clothes are washed and clean, but I will talk to you guys soon. I'm going to call my friend and I'm going to talk to her and try to help her out. I will talk to you guys soon. I appreciate the likes, the shares. Thank you guys. Listen to. Okay, I'm going to screenshot what you're saying because I might try to see about an audio book for me. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, I love you guys and thank you so much. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.